Well, hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for yet another webinar. Isn't it amazing? We always meet every month to discuss a new topic, and today it couldn't be more complex than the EUDR, the European Deforestation Regulations, which now is a bit delayed, but that doesn't mean we should sit idle. We should get ready for it, shouldn't we? So we're going to talk about the EUDR today. So my name is Arne Mielken, and I've been in customs and global trade for 20 years, and always new exciting regulations are coming on board, and this is the latest one that we customs people, but also sustainability experts have to deal with. Before I start this though, here is a very quick reminder of what we're doing. We're doing free-for-all live webinars, and we have a yearly series, the 2024-2025 series. And the reason we do this is because customs, global trade, sustainability, and all the other issues are complicated enough. If we want to build up our compliance, if we want to be compliant and we want to be stress-free, we all need to improve and promote knowledge and compliance. We need to have a community that fosters collaboration. We need to support each other in our professional developments. We need to enhance the best practices that you carry out, but your neighbor may not. So this is a kind of way we can get together and we can exchange best practices. This doesn't mean one person knows everything. It simply means that here's my take on it, what's yours? And we want to also demonstrate corporate social responsibility in thinking about sustainability. And this starts or continues in the customs and international trade and import and export field as well. If you want to know more about our 5 goals that we have set when we designed this live webinar series and why we're doing what we're doing, why we're doing it for free, then please have a read of these slides when you get the slides, and you'll understand why it is important that we do these things and that we offer opportunities for compliance, learning, and knowledge for everyone, regardless of your financial position, whether you're a student, you're in employment, you are making another contribution to import-export. We want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to learn about this. We do this once a month, every month, and not every time it will be as full on as this one with lots of information. Sometimes it's more conversational, sometimes it's more celebratory. So the next one we're going to do on CBAM is still similar to this one, but then in the next year, 2025, we're going to go into more celebrations, such as International Customs Days and so on. So I encourage you to sign up to all of them. They happen once a month, it's 1 hour, and you should go to this website, find out what's on the agenda, and join us. Today's topic is the European Deforestation Regulation. We have objectives as always. Now, our webinars are different from the webinars that you will have seen before. We deliver education and knowledge condensed in 1 hour. So this means it's full on, bang, bang, bang. And we're not going to do polls. We're not going to ask for your opinion. We're going to distill information from our brain, my brain, into your brain. And hopefully that's going to be the most helpful, most educational, most relevant, because in a short period of time, you're going to learn everything you need to know. Now, I appreciate that might be very, very fast, but as I said, we're recording this session so you can hit pause, rewind, and start again. These slides are expressively comprehensive so that you can use them for your internal purposes. If you want to leverage some of the information for your own education of others in your business or your trade association or for your clients, then be my guest. We all need to know. So therefore, these slides are made for you if you don't want to write anything down. What we want to achieve here are clear objectives, learning outcomes, and here is what you will learn. We need to develop a good general knowledge and awareness of the key provisions of the EUDR. We need to provide context. We need to talk about the goals, the legal basis, the timelines. Where do you find the law? What about this extension to the timetable we heard about last week? The commodities concern, so much confusion about is my product in scope. Clarify essential terminologies which really confuse me because I think of the words they use differently than they. And you probably will have the same experience. So we need to be clear always in EU law what we are talking about and who we are talking about. We need to understand the actions that trigger EUDR, and we need to know what are the actors actually involved. In particular, if you think about your business, who are you in the EUDR business regulation space? What's your role? So you need to figure this out, and we'll help you do it. And then one question I got a lot, and that is EUDR actually a customs matter? Isn't it a sustainability matter? Isn't it somebody else's problems, but not ours? So we're going to talk about that as well. So what we want to do is we want to deep dive into the operator's obligations in the second part of this training, of this webinar. This means we need to understand due diligence. We need to understand how we collect information, what the EUDR says about risk assessment and risk mitigation. We need to understand about due diligence statements and, scary as it is, public reporting, because that's what you're going to do. The word being public. And one of my absolute favorites, because I get to learn about geeky stuff that I didn't even know about, because I'm a customs guy, right? So I don't know about geolocation determination, and I certainly have no clue about polygon mapping, but I know it's important. And so therefore you guys are gonna learn what I know about forestry management. How cool is this? Always learn, hey? And then we need to talk about support tools and receive my conclusions and recommendations. So in the end, you will be able to better evaluate the impact of EUDR on your business, your supply chain, and share knowledge that you've acquired here, possibly with others in your organization or even outside. So the learning topics, we need to say that because this is a registered course, so we need to have learning topics. Introduction into EUDR, regulation requirements, compliance strategies, modern forestry management and best practices, and of course, support tools where you can find out more information. The expected outcome of this webinar are, well, as I've said, we want to obtain an overview of EUDR. This is all we can do in 1 hour. We need to understand the key provisions of the legislation and the essential principles of the EUDR, of course. We need to identify what due diligence actually means under the EUDR and the requirements that companies need to meet to adhere to these requirements. And then this geolocation determination and polygon mapping and why it matters. So we can't ignore that. This is too cool because it's something new. So I want to let you know that this is an educational webinar, and it is very similar to the live training we run. So if you want to know how we do live training, watch this and you will know. This is the same way we conduct our 4-hour training. And when I say we, it's principally me. It provides as much information as we can in a condensed period. As I said, you can use questions. Please use the chat to ask them. We'll issue a response document with the answers and publish these with our EUDR support bundle, which will be live in a couple of days after this webinar. And if you want to learn more about EUDR and have more time to talk to me and talk to others about it, then please join our deep dive 4-hour bi-monthly training, and you can book all of that on the events website of customsmanager.org. You get a shiny certificate as well, and it's run by me, so we get to talk more. And as I've just mentioned, all of this will be put into a support bundle. And that is a compilation of everything to do with EUDR. And that means you can access the slides, you can get the full recording, this recording of the live training, you can access a 30-page explainer document that I've written, the fact sheet from the European Commission on EUDR, the EUDR summary document, the latest document from the EU Commission published just last week on more information on EUDR, the FAQ issued by the European Commission. We'll put all of that together in one bundle. So you've got the slides, the recording, and other supportive material, plus, of course, the opportunity to be constantly informed whenever an update occurs. So to get that, you go to customsmanager.org shop, scroll to support bundle, and then this is where you can get it. So we're going to dive now into the webinar. So if you're ready to go, here we go. Part 1 is going to be context, goals, commodities, key terminologies, actions, actors of EUDR, and the question of EUDR being a customs matter or not. Then we move to the second part, and it's focused on obligations under EUDR, due diligence, information collection, risk assessment, risk mitigation, due diligence, and then the public reporting, due diligence statement, and public reporting. And thirdly, this is a short one, so please, if we won't have much time on this, but we will have to talk about geolocation determination, polygon mapping, and forest management. So, and then that will be quick. And then what are the support tools? I already mentioned some of them to manage the EUDR, the ones that you can download right now from the European Commission website. You can read that. I have read that, spent most of this week reading the latest document. So, and trying to understand, and then some conclusions and recommendation. Now, all of that and there is a quiz and a task to complete. This is what we always do in our training, so we added this here. We won't do it today, don't worry, not in this recording, but if you get the slides and you want to have a play, we always interject some fun into this. So there's some quizzes where you can ask questions, and then there's a task, and you can complete it if you want to practice, and you can then send it to us, and then we'll give you some feedback. Anyway, so that is the structure. That is always the structure we're going to work for most of our trainings as well. So it's very, very clear, hopefully, and you know where we are on which path. So, ready to go? Let's go.